Immense realities took on its shape. Now, because it is conceived, because it is possible to happen, therefore they have taken shape. See, when the spirit conceives something, it becomes a reality. When the idea is of the spirit, then it becomes a concrete, objectified thing here in creation. Immense realities took on its shape. In other words, he desired that there be many worlds. And there are many worlds, you see. There looked out from the shadow of the unknown, the bodiless namelessness that saw God born. The bodiless namelessness, yes, he has not taken any shape at all. He has not assumed any form. He has no name, anama. He has no name at all. That saw God born. What do you see there? Yes, from this black earth will be born God. The seed of God is planted in this black earth. It is that which is seen here. The bodiless nameless that saw God born. This black earth is not for nothing. The black earth is supposed to bear, is bound to bear tomorrow God Himself. The bodiless namelessness that saw God born and tries to gain from the mortal's mind and soul a deathless body and a divine name, and tries to gain from a mortal's mind and soul a deathless body and a divine name. Immense realities took shape. So, the reality that has to take shape is, the reality that has to take is to acquire a deathless body and a divine name. That must happen. Immense reality will have to take shape. The culmination of this reality taking shape is a deathless body and a divine name. It is the complete divinization of this creation here itself. From the black earth will come the deathless body and the divine name. From the black body itself will come here. And tries to gain. Now here it says, and tries to gain. Who? Who tries to gain? God. Yes?
You said it's the creation of what? Creation of what?
This entire creation is for what purpose? From the black soil,
Who is the bodiless namelessness?
immense realities took a shape, took on it. Immense realities have taken shape from the black soil. So, they have happened. I want this world, I want this world, I want this world. They have happened here. Now, the possibility which is opening out is, out of that black soil will arise a deathless body and a divine name. See, the bodiless, nameless that saw God born, it is this namelessness who saw God being born in this creation.
Who is this nameless?
Is nameless, who? The unknown.
No.
Which has not been, which is indescribable, which has not.
Out from the unknown. You said they
See,
look out from the shadow of the unknown.
From the unknown.
The
Yeah.
bodiless.
Yeah.
But who is this bodiless?
Well, that you can call the Supreme Being.
He came from the unknown, the Supreme
Yeah.
Being. He is the unknown.
They are looked out from the shadow of the unknown. The Supreme Being, His shadow which is there here. From that, there is the namelessness, bodiless nameless. He saw God. The shadow of the unknown is here. In this shadow, what is seen by this namelessness? God taking birth. We can say, in a way, this namelessness and this unknown are in a way same. Immense realities took on a shape, okay? They are looked out from the shadow, the unknown, the bodiless namelessness. You see, you imagine first the unknown, then its shadow is there. Then out of that shadow, what is the namelessness seeing? The namelessness now who is there in the shadow, what is he saying? That God will take birth. I don't know whether I made clear or not. But the grammar means, huh? The grammar means that, see, you have got the unknown, he has cast a shadow here, therefore there is a black earth. He has cast a black shadow. Now in the black shadow there is the bodiless namelessness. It is that bodiless namelessness in the shadow who is seeing the God birth, the birth of the God. And the example of that the example of the birth of the God is a deathless body and a divine name.
This is very deep.
Huh? Yeah. No, but it is pretty clear. You have got the unknown. He has cast the shadow. In the shadow is the namelessness, and the namelessness is seeing God being born. And the example of that God being born is a deathless body and a divine name. Now, see, but he says, tries to gain. That is more important. It is more practical also, more pragmatic also, more factual also. See, yes, the namelessness is there. He wants God being born here, that God take a deathless body and a divine name. He wants that thing to happen. Is that going to happen? He tries to do that thing. In other words, the power which is there, the power of evolution which is there, yes, eventually it might happen, but then there has to be the incarnation of the divine himself also to take things forward. Therefore, tries to gain. There is an effort, there is a struggle, but that struggle has to be supplemented, has to be added, has to be fulfilled, has to be carried forward by the divine incarnating himself here. Tries to gain from the mortal's mind and soul. You cannot, mortal's mind cannot. The divine mind has to come here and do something here. Ashwapati has to take mortal birth and do all these things. The bodiless, namelessness that saw God born and tries to gain from a mortal's mind and soul the deathless body and a divine name. The immobile lips, the graceful wings, the visage masked by superconsciously, the visage masked by superconsciously, that is prajna. The face is covered of this namelessness or whatever it is, by superconsciously. The eyes with their closed lids that see all things appeared of the architect who builds in trance. He is trying to do that thing, you see. The immobile lips, yeah. Well, you can imagine immobile lips, great surreal wing, besides mass by superconsciously. It is like it is kind of a statue there, stationary, fixed. The immobile lip, the great surreal wing, the visage masked by superconsciously. That is prajna consciousness is covered here in this manner. Prajna consciousness, superconsciously. The eyes with their closed lids. That see all things. Yeah, this is what we saw last time. It is not the physical eye which is seeing here. There is the eye behind the eye which sees things completely, you see. So the lids are covered. In fact, the moment the lids are covered, this eye opens out, you see. The eyes with the closed lids that see all things. Now, the original desire, born in the void, peered out. Because of this thing, now he's giving the metaphysics of the whole thing, you see. The original desire, born in the void, peered out. He saw the hope that never sleeps, the feet that run behind a fleeting pain, the ineffable meaning of the endless dream. Now this he is Ashwapati. the original desire, born in the void. Let be mean nothing. That is what the Supreme said, the Absolute said. Let be mean nothing. He became the void. For what? In that void he cast a seed to grow, to come out. In the world, this word desire, original desire, his desire in the void is to create a divine multiplicity. The divine multiplicity. That is the original desire. That is the purpose of why this void was created. If you want to really create multiplicity, then you have to empty out yourself fully, completely. See, if in the superconscious itself you create multiplicity, then everything is known. They are not really different. But if you want to have a distinct individuality of each and every person, you have to remove that completely. See, you have to become totally ignorant of it. You have to empty out yourself fully. You have to become the void. The purpose of the creation is the void is that out of that void, with that original desire, with that original sankalpa, desire here stands for sankalpa, will. That is the will of new creation, of multiplicity in the divine consciousness. That each individual is a manifestation of divine individuality. You see, what the Vedic rishis say, Divyam Janam, divine Janam, people, divine people. I want divine people. Or the Upanishad says, Bahusyam Prajayate, let me be many. The Spirit says, let me be many. Many in the divine consciousness. Let me be many. And in order that that happen, you have to pass through the stage of void. Now, passing through the stage of void, the Supreme become empty. What the mother calls in the story of creation, the four powers separated themselves out and became their opposites, the void, Supreme. Now, that is the process of involution. Means the creation of the void is actually what you would call involution. The creation of the void is actually what you would call involution. Now, after that, emerging out of that void with that original desire of multiplicity is evolution. So, the point of flux is this void. You come down here, involution, become void, start again up there. Now, we should understand very clearly that involution is through all these stages into nothing. Evolution is not really climbing up like that. It is not retracting the way the involution has taken place. You are climbing up but not retracing the way the involution has taken place. Otherwise the purpose is lost. Otherwise its purpose is lost. So involution and evolution are not kind of complementary in that sense. They are not opposite of each other. You forget yourself and you climb up again. The purpose is lost completely. Evolution is a totally new creation at every stage of the stage in which the involution was, you see. In other words, you can say that in the process of divine multiplicity to appear here, the divine manifestation to appear here, there are two laps. The first lap is the lap of involution, and the second lap is the lap of evolution. Is the second lap of evolution. Now, these two laps are not parallel; they are totally different. They have their own ways of growing independently of each other. Completely, you see. The original desire born in the void. So, don't say that evolution is the opposite of involution. It's not that. You see. Peered out, he saw the hope that never sleeps. Yeah, well, he Ashwapati sees that possibility in that black earth. Yes, that will happen here. The feet that run behind the fleeting fate, the feet that run, the feet of that possibility. he sees behind that thing, you see. Run behind a fleeting fade, the ineffable meaning of the endless dream. So that is a kind of a dream also, because he never sleeps, therefore it's a dream, endless dream. You see. The original desire, see, he puts desire, capital D, sankalpa. It is, in the Sanskrit truest sense, it is kama, ichha, will, desire, ichha. You see. I wish to be so, you see, ichha, kama. The original desire, born in the void. It has taken the. In fact, I will say, the birth of the original desire in the void, the birth of the original desire in the void is the first avatar. It is the appearance of the first avatar here. That the desire has appeared and is going to go here. So who is the first avatar? It is this one. The original desire of being born in the void, out of that thing, and the mother calls it Satyavan. That first avatar, the eternal avatar, she calls him Satyavan. See, in the story of Savitri, you see. The original desire, so that is the birth of the first avatar, you see, in the void. Then later on come other avatars, you see. The original desire, you see, he is very particular how mathematically precise every word is. Original desire, the very first urge to happen, to do things, to create multiplicity in a divine way. That is the urge of his, that's the desire, see. The longing, the will. So he has described now the powers of cognition which are beyond the mental level. Quickly kind of summarize all of them, and now what are they doing here is the description which follows here. What the contents of that knowledge is what is being described here, you see. In other words, this first 20 sentences plus the previous section, you are beyond the mental level, you are in the spiritual world, and you are getting various kinds of inputs from the spiritual domains. And it is these inputs then which should be understood in the totality of the scheme of things. In fact, he says, above the golden shimmering ridge. You see, he is climbing up still, beyond intuition, beyond inspiration, beyond perception. He is now in the overmind. We will take it next time, I think.